Hello, everyone. I'm going to be making a real quick video. It's not going to be too long. And I just want to talk about feelings. Because you know what? I just realized that this is a Trump emotional administration. Because they is really getting in people's feelings. They are ushering all these different feelings that a lot of us didn't know we had. I mean, I am seeing some disturbing images on the internet, and these are people's feelings. And, even last year, when Biden was the president, they was having all these images. Remember that truck that this guy, which I don't know why that wasn't against the law, but he was riding out with a picture of Biden on the back of his truck, and uh he was tied up. I think he even had a bandana over his mouth. I mean, why is people feeling like this? Trump has really found a way to dig deep into people's feelings and emotions that they can't control, because all these years of being told you can't do this and you can't do that, well, now you can do it because we have a president that done it and got away with it. He did all this stuff, and he still got elected. Remember all the days of seeing him going to court? Boy, was that a show. They had people coming to court with him. Even had some of them come to court dressed like him. Even had somebody came to court and released all these dick balloons. And all of this is being done by people that never got their emotions and their feelings in check. hmm And now, with all the stuff that he's doing since they put him back in power, because now he got gigantic power. He he has the Senate and the House, and he got the Supreme Court, and he has all these other judges, and he have all these billionaires. They didn't give this power to somebody who's a good leader, who's supportive, that's justice, kind, law-abiding citizen. No, they gave it to a criminal. a selfish narcissist criminal. That's and that's because he was able to tap into people's emotions that just threw out every sensibility or reasoning or common sense. Because see, we was not taught, and that's most people aren't taught um, the truth about human beings and how human beings are supposed to treat other human beings. It's hard for people to teach that dropped the atomic bomb on two nations, that literally decimated whole tribes, enslaved people for almost 400 years. It's hard for people to really come to grips with that and really want to believe that. Last time that fan was it's hot, so I have to keep that fan. And every time you hear him speak, he always put that blame game. He always put that. Um, he speaks in a way of demeaning people, and and even had the gall to come out and say he hate them too. See, this is a man that know he can say anything he wants to say, even though it sounds stupid, or even though it sounds mean and hateful. He can still do it, and ain't nobody gonna say nothing about it. And this is what gets people really emotional: is that if I did that, I would be locked up. If I did that, people would I would get fired. And and people are really into their emotions. They can't even relate to other people. They can't really conversate because they feel like comments are there for you to load out, load on your emotional baggage. I was looking at this one video this lady made, and I looked at the comments. You don't have to be that mean. You can have. They don't know how to make a decent conversation or a comment. If you don't like what she's saying, okay, and you don't agree with it, you don't have to say stuff like, okay, well, okay, like I said, we all in our emotions. This one lady got the nerve to have her handle is Jesus is alive. And this is a sad thing about it too, is most of his Trump supporters are, because see, you have to separate the man from Trump, because see, he has been living off that name for so long that he literally has separated him from the Trump name. Because if you look at him, he talks about himself in the third person, and he really looks at people because he knows that him really at night when he take off that suit and that makeup, he's just a weary old man, and nobody would look up to him. Even when he was younger, I believe he would go in there and look at himself. But that name came with a lot of weight, just like a lot of other ones. But see, he became an evil genius, and they hired him to do that. But this one lady that her handle is Jesus is alive. Why can't you talk for yourself? Stop repeating what the Democrats made you repeat. Stop mocking Jesus. See, that's what I'm saying. They can say this stuff because see the TV shows that they look at don't show Trump doing crazy stuff. They don't think all the stuff that he done said he's not mocking Jesus. Okay, and this is another. This one that says tea smoke. Color has nothing to do with what's going on. They really got people thinking, and this been going on a long time. They've been conditioning people a long time about race. There's another one. The YNs. Okay, this is some Moo Moo James. I don't know if he's black or not, but see, we have to get hip to these initials wording. YN, young niggas. They young, they young niggas was the generation we needed. The media turned them into crash out gangsters. Crash out gangsters. I I don't know what that means. But here's another one. Here's Jesus is alive again. Do you know Jesus to talk like this? See, this is what I'm talking about. He is getting these. See, they are. What would I wouldn't call them his little recruits to get online. They make sure they pay their cable bill and make these names so they could go, so they could do their part in helping Trump. He said, and then here's somebody else, Marcellus Maxey, MAGA Trump, 2024, number one. I bet you she didn't hear, or whoever this is. No, this is a dude. Uh, did he hear about the administration that is about to incinerate $180,000 worth of food that they let rot expire? They waited till it expired, and then it's going to cost $100,000 to incinerate it. Did he hear about that? And even if he did hear about it, would he care? Because to them, money ain't the issue. The issue is always going to be standing up for the white race on the right side. It don't matter. It don't matter money. It don't matter family. It don't matter who you is. If you're not for the white race on the right, they ain't got no love for you. They don't care. They would run you over. Literally, would run you over. And as we speak now, somebody's in their basement or attic or garage planning a mass killing because their emotions are not being met. Their feelings are being intertwined in patriotism and hatred. And they've been listening to so much internet and they don't know what to believe. So they believe what, excuse me, they believe piss, what pisses off the left. Now he put that word out, I hate them. So that makes them hate them. So we have people out here that's dealing with this hatred of somebody that's never done nothing to them and never hated nobody like that before. But now they're being told to, I hate them. Now he was smart to say, we hate them. He didn't say that. He didn't have to say that. So they don't know that they are being led by a con man. They don't know that. And most cons are successful because they don't know they're being conned. A lot of us be conned every day and don't know it. Kills 99%, 99.9% of bacteria. Really? Do we really know that? New and improved. Really? The candles is the biggest con. Have all these different scents. I've yet to smell one yet. Now they came out with this one thing I told my daughter not to get, but she went and got it anyway. And thank goodness it didn't work. But they wouldn't give her money back. But they gave her a gift card. This little thing now, which they didn't have them for years. It was by one that had this been having the um, what you call it, incense, not incense, but odor control thing going on. I can't think of the name of the company that you can set the timer and it'll spray out this spray. This what happens when you get, you know, older. Your brain done accumulated so many different words and meanings. They some of them get lost. You know, when they spray out the odor, smell good. But they got this one thing that it does the same thing, But now this odor has gotten really really just sophisticated. I came in the house and I'm smelling it and I'm like, these young ones, that's the thing now. They done con people to thinking that you gotta have this smelly stuff, these candles and incense and all this stuff. That cannot be good for you. Smelling this stuff all day. It just can't be good for you. And man, you spend a pretty penny, you'll get some good smelling candles that yeah, you'll smell it and and then you have the plug-ins, you can plug that in. Um it's just like perfume, some perfumes. You can spray it, but you can't smell it after a while, but other people can smell it because your nose have gotten it's accumulated in you where you're not smelling it anymore. I don't know how that go. There's some scientific, I'm sure some kind of scientific explanation. Okay, here's another one. Somebody says, "Oh, this is a Jesus is alive again." See, that's what I'm saying. It probably these are some people that is really totally emotional right now. Because who sits up there and keeps saying stuff? Now she calling this same Jesus is alive. Now she's calling her dumb. This she's on her channel doing a live video, and you don't like what she's saying, change the channel. Why do you have to stay on there long enough to call her dumb? That's because their leader says stuff like that. He even called his own supporters stupid, naive. Some people don't. Okay, here's another one. Jesus is black, says so in the Bible. Some people say that, but they still go to church with a white Jesus on on the wall. On the wall, they still have one. Uh, Here's another one. Moo Moo James. I love God and Jesus. Really? You love God? Do they? And like somebody said, these are the same people. They don't read the Bible because in the Bible it says, "How can you love God that you haven't seen and hate your brother that you see every day?" How is that possible? But if you was to mention that to them, you know what their emotions would be? None. Because now these people are running on the emotion of patriotism and Trumpism. And they really even actually even tried to say that people got Trump derangement. Like it's our fault that he's everywhere. You can't turn on the TV. You can't open up your phone. You can't open up your laptop. You can't walk down the street and look at a newspaper without Trump. Even when he was fired from the office, you still heard about him, everything he did. Oh, he had dinner with uh, 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 Holocaust denier. He had dinner with Kayada. Everything he did, you still had to hear about. It is not like we out there putting in what did Trump do today? No, no. 80% of us want him to go away. Here's another one. I'm worried about the price of gas, eggs, and other things I need. Why are we worried about it? Because you have a choice. You can either buy it or don't buy it. It's been going up since I've been in this world. Eggs used to be 50 cents a carton. Gas, some people couldn't even say, remember it being 15 cents a gallon. It goes up. That ain't nothing but a talking point. Same way with immigration. They don't want to fix it. They just want to talk about it and execute their evilness on them. Get some brownie points. Here's another one. Race, no, your culture is mine, your business while complaining. They always think people is complaining when they on their channel talking to others. Because like I always say, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the ones that want to listen to me. That's why I'm not worried about getting, a lot of people, their whole channel is just about politics. Trump, what he doing? No solutions. Because if you look at it, they talked about him the whole 4 years Biden was in office. He still got elected. The man was found guilty of sexual assault, fraud, friends with Epstein, uh, numerous other crimes, and he still got elected. So, what is your main purpose? Their main purpose is getting paid by YouTube because the more, and see, they clickbaits is prevalent now, and they really sophisticated with all this AI stuff. They tune into your emotions. Oh yeah, you got to see what's going on. Oh, Trump made the worst speech ever I ever heard ever. Trump went off, or Jasmine Crockett told Trump to shut up. I mean, anything to get you wired up so your ears can be tickled. Just like just like the Bible. They say what preachers do. They say stuff to make you want to hear more. Same thing. They work on your emotions. And I am here to get people out of their feelings. Because that's all it is. I see back in the day, we could hear something, talk about it, and go on about our business. We didn't have to stand up and analyze what somebody just said and have to comment on it. We would talk to our families. We would talk to our friends. Now you can put in a comment, I hate you, or you is dumb as hell. Ew. You know, so we're not talking to our friends. We're not talking to somebody, and we're not getting anybody to say, "Oh, why did you, say that?" We don't get no pushback because all we can do is just write it and go on to the next one. And our emotions and our feelings are not being checked. And here's another one by Moo James. All the sugars is 20% stronger than what is supposed to be in the black community. Got the got diabetes like a MF. Okay, here's another one by T Smoke. If you don't see past your physical eyes to spiritual eyes, you won't see what's going on. All the sugars is 20% stronger than what they're supposed to be in the black community. And that's another thing. We could say a lot of stuff. I do the same thing. We may say stuff that without backing it up. But I would like to, if I was to say something like that, I would love to have proof. But uh, so what? I tell people, stop going to the corner stores. I tell people to stop running to the liquor store every time you're feeling sad or mad. You don't have to have liquor every time you have a party. Just like we're in the city I'm in, I seen this big sign, block party. Are you serious? I didn't go to black parties back in the day. I just didn't. Well, now I know. I'm an introvert. I really, and I just, But am I gonna go to a block party after all? Especially after what happened in Pennsylvania? I don't think so. But this person says it's the sugar. So that's why a lot of the diabetes is running rampant. I would say diabetes is running rampant in the black community is because they're stupid. And it comes down. It's it's down from the top. It comes down from the top. The parents, they didn't have all that. Our great grandmas down. They didn't have all that. They didn't have all that fast food restaurants and corner stores and all that stuff that out there now. But then their kids didn't. We didn't teach our kids how to stay healthy, why you need to stay healthy, and how they are getting rich off of your ignorance. And we scared to tell each other the truth. I look at a lot of these. episodes, these 20-minute episodes, videos about horrible situations that us black folks go through. And, well, not just blacks, whites too. And they all, when they get in interviews, they all say the same thing. Say something different. I mean, I hate to say that because I hate for anybody to go through what I see they go. I see people going through. It's just, I would. Oh, I don't even like to talk about it. It's just too painful. But getting back to emotion, we have to look at it and call it like it is. This is a Trump emotional administration, and it's pitiful how we are treating one another and talking about one another. We're not lifting each other up. Then when I saw, well, when I read about him actually burning up food, I almost broke down. We grew up. My kids grew up. Don't you throw that food away. You know, it's somebody over there in Africa that's starving. There's somebody that feels guilty when they have to throw away food because it's nobody there to eat it. And I mean, it is, and to hear that they actually going to spend $100,000 to um, incinerate, burn up some food that was supposed to go to starving kids in other countries. And now they're trying to pass a amendment to take away $9 million away from helping other people. Oh my goodness. Let's see, what is it? Trimming $9 billion from foreign aid and public broadcasting. How did that supposed to make you feel? Did that make you feel good? Everything they do is a feeling of despair, hurt. Nobody could ever, and they laugh at people's pain. I see them on the other people. They have to put a pain. They have to put a laugh in there to keep their job. You want a job that bad, and a lot of people will do anything to keep their job. Um, oh yeah, that's another word they love to use. Panic. You hear that? You hear that every day. You hear that. That's why. That's why I try not to talk about him a lot. But I tell you, I got emotional when I heard about them burning up food that was supposed to go to starving kids, babies. Just like they starving those babies over there in Gaza. And now they're getting upset because of American. was killed over there by a Israel fighter. It's going to be so many emotional drained people that's going to come out of this administration that, but I don't know if it's going to be anybody there to help them. And then when I heard about it was on the news, that's why they want to get rid of public broadcasting, because the public broadcasting, they do some great investigating, and they investigate people on both sides. But one side hates it with a passion, and they was talking about how some airport aviator controllers are being burnt out because of work too much. They're working too much, and some of them are saying they haven't had a weekend off. Just uh, one of them quit and moved to Brazil. They said he said he never had a weekend off the whole time he's been working there. And it said that some of them are working so much that they are getting burnt out. And they said that the staffing shortage is is to the point where they have to ask for a vacation a whole year ahead of time. It's gonna and we're living on a power tag because it's you got a billion guns out there in the hands of 50 million people with emotional trauma. And most of these people do not have emotional support because most families are all dysfunctional. I mean, just look at it. I looked at this one episode where the son killed the mother. They try to say that he killed her because she made him get out because she caught him in the bed with a girl, a 20-year old. Okay, your 20-year-old son is living with you, and you're gonna tell him not to bring a girl in the house, and she just happened to come home and found him, and then told him to get out, and he shot his mother, killed her, and it's quite a few episodes like that. Is that what we're dealing with? Parents that are so full of emotional baggage that they can see their child in another light. They can't control their kids. I don't understand that. And it's hard for me to understand that because I came from a home that we were, it wasn't balanced, but we knew you did not step out of line. We were scared of our parents. Most kids back in the day were scared of their parents. Now, I ain't gonna say we never did nothing wrong because we did, and we made sure we didn't caught. Okay, but see, these kids don't care if they get caught because they ain't scared. They ain't scared of you. Take away their laptop if you want to and see what happens. But the whole family is dysfunctional. There's no supporting one another. Just like that girl here, it getting ready to spend a long time for killing her 8 year old. And one of the family members gonna get up there and say, "Well, you could have gave her to us." No, you should have took her. See, that's what I'm saying. Oh, it's all messed up. But like I was saying, I want, I just want to get the word out that we are dealing with a emotional administration, and we're going to have to work on our emotions and our feelings. We're going to have to get them in check, and we're going to have to learn how to deal with other people's emotional um, and feelings because it's really weird. It's really weird. Now I'm looking at this one Garrison Hayes got 479,000 views. Oh, this was a year ago, but the subheading was "Do wait a minute." Their theology baptized their black slaves and forthrightly does sent God them back hate to the black fields people to work. Four, both black and white prosperity preachers have scammed millions of dollars from faithful black parishioners living in American slums. Five, it is an undeniable fact that Christianity. And that's another thing I was just thinking the other day. I'm like, we are so all of them. The politicians, the preachers, they prance on people's feelings and emotions. Because if these preachers really cared, these popes, preachers, all of them, if they really cared about the people, why are they spending all this money on these lavish buildings? Just like the Jehovah's Witnesses. They say they got their most a little bit lucrative real estate for their headquarters. You had these preachers, these mega churches, worth millions of dollars. Preachers with jets, preachers and these popes that have Vatican. They have all these cathedrals, these mosques, costing millions of dollars. Okay, I just froze, but I was talking about all this money, and you don't hear them talking about this instance. Well, I haven't heard them say anything. I do hear some preachers talking against him and everything, and this Trump emotional administration. But I haven't heard them. Why they didn't say, "Well, give the food to the churches. We'll send it to them." But that is not what they're trying to do. They are trying to kill people, kids. They kill the babies. They don't have to worry about the babies having more kids. They call it population control. That's what they do. These wars and all this stuff is to give the weapons companies more money. and population control. And when you hear them champions of abortion rights, pro-life, how can they say they're pro-life, but they're starving babies? Oh my goodness. That's all I want to say. My darn computer froze up on me and I couldn't finish that. But this one saying, I just seen this. He got a picture of a white Jesus. I thought Jesus was black. They don't want to put a black Jesus up there with the saying, does God hate black people? Just emotions. Emotions. Okay? Because if they put a black Jesus, like it says in the Bible, with the heading, does God hate black people? People's head would blow off. It would just explode. Thank you for listening. You all have a wonderful day.